Assalamu alaikum guys, and a very warm welcome back to another video with me. I'm your Arabic teacher Sam. So we're pretty early on in the channel, actually. Like I've got maybe like 10 videos or less at the moment. So what I thought I'd do is I'd do like a really broad video, like I'd do something that is just really like kind of introductory, just about me. Really good way to kick it off. So it'd be a good way to. I'd quite like to do like a how did you learn Arabic? Where did you learn Arabic? When did you learn Arabic? Why did you learn Arabic? Type thing. And I thought we'd start off by doing how. Like how did you learn Arabic? Because like I'm here, I'm an Arabic teacher. I have a YouTube channel called Arabic with Sam, and I make a living out of teaching Arabic. So it's quite obvious that there was like a why of teaching Arabic, but why for learning Arabic even. So I thought it'd be interesting to do a video sort of on how. Like how did that come about, and sort of what steps did I take when coming to learn Arabic? So, so this is specifically a video about kind of how rather than why or where. So how actually starts before I even started learning Arabic. The how actually kind of starts when I learned Spanish, because I learned Spanish way before I learned Arabic. Did A-level Spanish and stuff like that, and I went to like in south of Spain. Obviously, it's well known that like the vast majority of Spain was an Arab region for about 800 years, and so really like my learning of Arabic sort of maybe started with learning Spanish even, and Spanish shares some sounds with Arabic too, kha, ra, and some others that it shares with Arabic too. So kind of coming from like a purely like white English speaking family, there was kind of like a good little stepping stone to come into that, and then also culturally learn about some of the history of Spain and like its Arab history and some of the common words that they share. Words like alfombra means a rug, or alwondigas means meatballs, and these words that have al at the beginning, like the Spanish know that these words are originally from Arabic, and so that was kind of like the first step. That was kind of like the first how, and then the next how, I suppose, is after having an interest in that from just little books that I picked up. In fact, I can show you, actually. Two of the books, some of the first books that I had, I don't encourage this to my students as this being like an appropriate way to approach learning a language, but like I started off just with like a phrase book. I just had like a Middle East phrase book, and that really confused me. I don't know if you've seen this before. If you are just going on holiday, like if you're going on holiday or something and you want just like a few phrases, and this is a good book. I'll leave a link to it in the description if you do want to get hold of it. But really for the serious Arabic language student, I wouldn't recommend it. Just learning phrases in vaguely mapped out dialects. Like so this was kind of the first thing that I learned from. This was like a little pocket book. And there's other languages in here too. There's Hebrew, Turkish, and Persian as well too in here. Where like, but I wouldn't recommend it. Like the dialects are a little bit confusing. Like there's Egyptian dialect. There's like, it's sort of grouped Palestinian, Syrian, Lebanese, Jordanian Arabic as like one, like Levantine Arabic, and then there's like then it says like in Saudi Arabia they speak like modern standard Arabic, which just isn't true. My wife grew up in Saudi Arabia, and her dialect is not modern standard Arabic at all. So and then it doesn't make any mention of like Libya having its own dialect, and I teach some Libyan students, and they have some words in their language which are just fascinating. Like they're almost nothing to do with Arabic. So so I wouldn't recommend this for like the serious student, but it was how I started out. It was how I started like channeling my interest in Arabic language just into a certain book. And then my next one was Teach Yourself Arabic. So really like the how sort of started off just by learning Spanish, and the next was just through a few books by myself. And this comes with a CD as well. I'll leave a link to this book in the description too, because even until now, like some of my quite advanced students, we do some texts from this book. Like there are texts like this, which are quite long, and they have some quite advanced vocab in it. So even some of my advanced students, we still do this, even though it's considered like just like a teach yourself, almost introductory course. It begins with basic كيف الحال, السلام عليكم وعليكم السلام, alhamdulillah, little phrases like that, but ends up with quite big passages. So huge scope in that book. But then again, so I maybe would recommend that actually. I maybe would recommend that for someone who wanted to study by themselves. So those were kind of the first three like hows, like learning Spanish, having an interest in it from when I went to the south of Spain, picking up this Middle East phrase book, picking up like a more like grammar and standard Arabic sentence based book. And then the next thing was when I was at college, So at that point, when I started learning Spanish, I was at school. And then when I went to college, I carried on learning Spanish. I was doing A-level Spanish too. And then also whilst at college, I was at Truro College, by the way. Is anyone watching it? Leave a link and leave a comment in the comments. I'd love to hear from you guys if any of you have studied at Truro College, because it's a really special place here in Cornwall. So when I was there, I was doing study of religions as well as one of the other A-levels. And we came across the study of Islam. Like, Islam was one of the religions that we came across. And I remember one of our assignments, the teacher, she's not Muslim, she was like a secular Jewish lady, and she gave us an assignment to go home, listen to some of the Quran on Quran Explorer. She gave us like a link to Quran Explorer, and like listen to a few surahs of it, and like write about how it made you feel. And I remember hearing this language, like obviously I'd never heard ghayn and sad and ta and ayn and ghayn before, and just the rhythm and the sound of the language and the power of its melody and stuff just blew my mind. Like I'd never even heard anything like it. Like I'd explored how like hearing stuff could make you feel like through music and stuff like that before, and I just never even heard anything like the sound of the Quran. And at that point I knew this language is serious business, and this is going to change my life. Like I even just knew at that moment. Like I remember like sitting up in my bedroom, 16 years old, looking out the window, listening to the Quran, and almost feeling like what I was looking at out of my window was like acting in harmony with what I was listening to. I don't even know how to explain that. Like even when I'd like see birds flying past, it's as if they were beating their wings to the sound of the Quran and stuff. And it just blew my mind. Like the melody and the sounds of this language, was just absolutely amazing. So that was when I started like listening to it and then trying to pronounce Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. And I'd never heard these sounds before. I'd never heard them come out of my face before. And like I just thought it was amazing. Like I started like trying to memorize bits of the Quran. I came to memorize like a good sort of 20 pages of the Quran even before I knew you could even become a Muslim. Like I didn't even know you could like, I didn't know someone could like choose to be a religion or whatever. I didn't really even know about that. Or I wasn't really even concerned about that even. Like it wasn't even that, I just didn't know. So there's that. I'm at college. I've decided that this Arabic language is the most amazing thing I've ever heard in my entire life. But I don't know anyone who speaks Arabic. Like I don't even know any Muslims at this point. I've heard of a Muslim who was at my college, and but he never spoke to me about Islam. Like we had a couple of mutual friends, and even when I started telling people that I was interested in Arabic, I was interested in learning more about Islam, he never even approached me. But so there's that, and then like a little while went on. There's probably going to be a separate video on this channel about like, the journey to Islam, and that'll kind of cross over with this video. But so like I'd committed to that I'm a Muslim by now. Like I've wholeheartedly accepted the Quran. Like I've started learning Arabic. I've accepted Tawheed, I've accepted that Allah is one, I've accepted the prophets, I've accepted the books, and everything like that. So at this point, and then I like enroll on this evening course. Like my college does an evening course. They still run it now. If any of you are in Cornwall, you're interested in doing a full-time course, I'll leave a link in the description too to that full-time course. No, it's not a full-time course, it's an evening course at Truro College. I'll leave a link to more information about that if you're interested. Or if you want like a private tutor, then you can get in touch with me as well, because I might have some spaces available. But anyway, so I enroll on this course, and there's a Lebanese woman who teaches this course, and I sort of told the class about like why I wanted to learn Arabic. I was interested in Islam. Like I'd sort of committed to that I was a Muslim, even though I'd never met a Muslim in my life. Like all of my information was through books I'd found in the library and stuff that I'd read online and videos I'd watched on YouTube and stuff like that. So I had no Muslim friends. I have no Arabic speaking friends. I've never heard a human being speak Arabic. I've just heard Arabic come out of the computer, and my Arabic language voice was like the only one that I saw in like the real space. And then, so one day she called me outside the room and she was like, Sam, you're aware that we have a mosque here in Cornwall? Like, do you know about that? And like, you could learn Arabic there. There's a really, really good teacher who has like ijaza. He's a hafid of the Quran. Like you could go and learn under him. So so that's what I did. Like I ended up leaving that course because I could progress a lot quicker. Because the course is for adults and stuff, and like people, adults, even in my experience, like teaching adults is really challenging actually, because there's lots of reasons. I'll cover it in another video. I'll do a video called I'll leave a link to it in the description when that video comes out. It's not out as I'm recording this, but have a look in the description in case you're watching this later and the video's up. Yeah, about sort of advice for adults learning Arabic and teaching adults learning Arabic. So I go to this mosque, and I remember like I'd practiced saying Assalamu alaikum about 100 times to the mirror and stuff, like Assalamu alaikum to the mirror and stuff. And then what if they say Assalamu alaikum to me first? I've got to reprogram wa alaikum salam come back, like practicing like these phrases and stuff, because obviously it doesn't come naturally to you. Like if you're not involved in the Muslim community and stuff, or with Arabic speakers, it doesn't come naturally to you. So I remember going and I met an Egyptian man. A few months later, I took my shahada with that Egyptian man. His name's Mustafa. Please make dua for him. But the actual teacher was someone called Abdus Salam. So I studied under Abdus Salam for a little while. He taught me Quran, and he made sure that my kind of aqidah, my understanding of the religion was correct and things like that. So at that point, I'm more interested in learning the Arabic language than I am any of my other subjects at college. Yeah, I'm way more interested in it. Like my evenings and stuff, I've sort of put aside like a little evening school. I like set up like an evening school, like an evening self-study time just for Arabic for myself. And yeah, and so I committed to that. So when it came to choosing what I wanted to do at degree level, because most people are doing A-levels these days, the objective is to go to university. I don't know how useful A-levels are really if you don't want to go to university. But so I want to go to university, and I choose to do my degree in Arabic. It's just straight Arabic, straight BA Arabic at university. So I get into a university called SOAS. More information on that will be about my Where Did You Learn Arabic one. My Where Did You Learn Arabic video. So I get into SOAS, study at SOAS, and that sort of starts to take over the question of like how I learn Arabic a little bit more, and therefore how to give advice to people who are interested in learning Arabic. So the how is, I encourage people to entirely start off with the alphabet. Like the alphabet are like, they are the components that make up the entire language, really. Like it's the foundations, which when you get them right, it'll make everything else so much easier. So learning the alphabet, and also that's something that you can do before you even turn up to your first lesson. Like that is something you can do. There are resources for that available. There's going to be resources on my channel for that soon. And then making use of the early hours, like the time when us Muslims wake up to pray Fajr in the morning. It can be as early as 2 in the morning sometimes, or as late as 5 o'clock in the morning, and then wake up and use a couple of hours in that time to just go over vocabulary and make vocabulary like a main focus of yours, broadening your vocab massively, because the grammar is actually finite in Arabic. Like you can get to a point you can say I understand all the grammar, but you can do that in Arabic. Like it's so mechanical. There are books written on like all of the grammar. You can learn poems like the poem of Al-Ajrumiyya, where you'll learn like a good amount of all the grammar in the entire language in one poem. But the vocab is it's infinite. The vocab is just, the active vocab of an Arabic speaker is just so much more than the active vocab of an Arabic English speaker. And the amount of vocab that you need to even like function in an average way in Arabic is just phenomenal. So focus on those. And then after graduating, I did a year abroad in Palestine. I came back, and then the how is through the teaching now. Like I've been teaching Arabic for full time, like on my own terms, full time for about 2 years now, creating resources and stuff like that, and teaching privately and running my own private lessons and stuff like that for about 2 years. But I've been teaching Arabic to help me learn it for about 7 now, maybe. Like even when I'd learn something, teach it to a close friend of mine, or teach it to a family member, or just bring it up in a conversation. Like if you're out having dinner with your friends, and what you're interested in at the moment comes up, use an opportunity just to teach them a small concept. Oh, I've just been learning about how in Arabic, like you can have these letters at the beginning, the middle, and the end, and they're different on their own. Like because that's interesting too. So like that even is a way of teaching it as a means of you learning it as well. So sort of the most recent thing, the how I'm learning Arabic is through teaching it. most of the time now. Or that's sort of how I'm cementing and consolidating the stuff that I've learned. Because I teach some students who are really high level Arabic. Like I teach some degree level Arabic students. Like I privately tutor some degree level Arabic students. And so for me, I need to stay on my game. So the things that I do, I'll show you actually some more books. Like I have some novels that I really like. There are novels that I bought when I was in Palestine. There's one called Rijal fi Shams, The Men in the Sun, and you're always like, it's really important just to keep up reading. Like that's kind of my how I learn Arabic now. Keep up reading, read books from different places. Like these are from Palestine, these three. I have some others from other parts of the Arab world and literatures from other parts of the Arab world, even from different times as well. Like I like reading older texts. Like I have the text of Ibn Jubayr and Ibn Battuta and stuff too to keep myself sharp in my Arabic. So that's everything from me for now. That's kind of the how I learned Arabic. There's going to be a video coming up afterwards for the where I learned Arabic. But if you enjoyed this video, and I hope you did, don't forget to like and share it, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.